This vehicle is called the Black Addict. In January 2019, Dreamer brought out something called the Red Addict. It sounds like something dodgy you might have picked up on the streets of New York in 1972. So this one, however, you'd have to pick up on the streets of Dusseldorf, on various other streets as well. 541 centimeters long. It is a very small camper van. In fact, you can't really get a proper camper van any smaller than this, at least not on a Fiat Ducato. 70,000 euros. It's a fair whack of cash, and but mind you, they're all going up in price quite substantially. This thing here has got this tent in the roof, and I have my doubts on tents in the roof because of the stability in wind, and engineers I've spoken to actually share these doubts. In fact, I've allowed myself to be persuaded against them. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Bed at the back, really nicely contoured to allow for the position of the shower unit, or the wet room, which comes with this sink and a shower. And you may think, oh, that's not very big. Well, I disagree. I think in a 541 centimeter long vehicle, this, I would say, is approaching enormous. That I find very attractive. It's closed by the use of a sensible sliding door. At the back, we've got storage here, and which goes on the other side as well. Here you could stick your pillows up and use the reading light to read with. It's also accompanied by quite nice background lighting. In this here, here we find a wardrobe. Well, you mightn't get all of your tuxedos in there, but at least you'll get some of them. Below that we have a fridge. In here we've got drawers, and note this, it's got a proper side to it. That is a proper drawer, unlike those, for example, used by the Hymer group, which uses some cheap things that I think IKEA discarded because they weren't good enough. I quite like that. Sink, square sink. It's got a proper drainage to it. Obviously it's not huge, but it's only, the vehicle's only 541 centimeters long, and 2 burners there as well. Storage there. Webasto heating. I'm not a fan of Webasto. I'd give that one a miss, but the advantage of having diesel heating is that it what does diesel heating do? If you've got a diesel tank, so you'll need less gas, so you're using the fuel tank anyway. What happens if the diesel heating uses all the fuel up in your vehicle? Well, I have known that to happen with Webasto, although theoretically it's not supposed to. Anyway, I think that's a thing for another time. This is what it looks like up here in the tent. Right, so you've got the plastic on, fair enough. Look, somebody's going to want to buy it, and they don't want having people like me with their muddy and sticky paw prints all over it. Got the window in the tent and a window here, but this is a tent. Yeah, see? Now that is not going to keep you very warm at all. In fact, you probably will need something quite thick. And also bear in mind, if someone's in the tent, all the cold is coming down here as well. So that is the problem with the tent in the roof. My feeling is you're probably really better off without a tent. If you want to sleep 4 people, don't go for the tent option, go for a something else. Get a vehicle which can take 4 people. That's my personal feeling. I mean, I know it's nice to be up in a tent. I haven't actually slept in a tent on the roof ever, but I have slept in lots of tents, and I've even slept with just a sleeping bag and a ground sheet on top of me. Ground sheet went on top of me to actually protect from the rain. Should have rained. That was when I was in the army. Or even when I went cycling later as well. I mean, I used the ground sheet. So the thing is this, you know, that's the top's heavy. The sides are like sails. You know, it gets a bit. I really have very strong. People say about dropping beds, you know, these electric beds. I think the risk of a tent in the roof going wrong is much greater than that of these internal beds. That's just my opinion. This van is great without the problem of the tent in the roof. This will come up as well, and so I'd give the tent in the roof a miss, and you'd get therefore the cheaper van. Only got one, but it's a full-size one. Note that, and you've got Webasto heating, cooking with that. For me, it's not quite a last, but I can almost go an entire year with just using it for cooking. That may be exaggerating, but so I buy in in March usually, and that I fill it up again in October, something like that. Usually fill it up before I come here, for example, in August, but this year I didn't. It lasts me ages, the gas, ages and ages. Right, so there you have the Black Addict, and from Dreamer. So what do you think? I think, you know, fully got everything inside. You've got your shower, you've got the toilet, I think, and it's a very small footprint. This comes in what I call the small. I would even say it'd be so not quite tiny. I can't call it tiny, but it's the smallest campervan, Fiat Ducato, and similar things. So that's what which you can stand up in. So I think that's a really good piece of kit, and you might think differently. So if you want to see more bits of kit like this, then you can subscribe to my channel. I upload every day at 21:15, and this channel is the largest RV channel on the internet, and you'll get from me not what the manufacturers tell you. You get from me the honest truth from somebody who not only has lived in a van for 11 years but has an extensive business career behind him. So all the best, and thanks for watching.